For sure. Listen to the Mind of Terry's Moon, Flight Buster Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry I gotta do these motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I'm about to talk about what the fuck is clout. Now, what is clout? Now, like I said, everything is an energy, but we give certain energies these words and titles so we can describe it the best to our ability. So the word we give it and the meaning behind it only be a small percentage of what that energy is doing. But for the most part, what is clout? Because everybody sees it. Yeah, we got words to describe it. But what's actually happening when this shit takes place in this universe? So what is clout? Clout is nothing more but an energy being directed to a particular person. What is energy? Energy is a source, a vibe. Now, this source and vibe is able to get activated when attention is being paid to it. So for an example, when a lot of people are paying attention to a specific thing, that thing has energy now. This is why when doctors try to, I mean, not doctors, but this is why when scientists try to look at a wave, it end up appearing to be a particle. Because our minds, our thoughts, imaginations help create this realm. Our mind is our external inner body that you can't see, but it's a body that our spirit can take. And that's consisted of the elements you're made out of. And then you're in a realm under a solar system and shit. So you see what I'm saying? So your mind and then the outer mind bouncing off with each other is what creates the shapes and forms in between. So this is what you need to understand. There's a lot of things taking place before me, my physical eyes, and this phone right here. There's a lot of things taking place in a lot of different realms of realities. So when a person is getting a lot of attention paid towards them, right? That's energy. And then when people are paying attention to this person, the energy is being channeled to that person. And once you get a large amount of source or a large amount of mass or a large amount of people paying attention to one specific shape or form, that shape or form now has clout. And it can take that energy it's getting and reshape and form it to whatever it likes. And it could will it into this existence a lot faster also, because it has more power, more source to come into this realm of reality more faster. So when a person is getting a lot of energy directed towards them, that's what allows them to have clout. Now, this specific word clout in general, now let's look at it like this, right? Because energy is just not energy itself, it's what you're paying attention to. So for the most part, when a person is paying attention to something, they're paying attention to something with a certain energy to it. You see what I'm saying? With a certain specific energy to it. Now, the energy is going to be another word or another thing that we gave meaning to this energy signature, and that's going to represent something. So when a person actually have motherfucking clout, this means that the energy that they're getting from everybody else is backed and supported by another energy that already has clout. For an example, let's use drug dealing. So there was a person who made up drug dealing, right? Like government and shit. They created drug dealing because they deal drugs all day in your pharmacies. So in this point, right, there's a person who created drug dealing. Now there's a bunch of spirits and bodies that's going to come and do that energy signature, right? They're going to come and do that energy signature. Now, drug dealing itself already has its own clout. So everybody who come and do that energy signature going to do it in their own way. You have some people who do it better than others. You have other people who did it better than others. So drug dealing itself already has a clout. Now say you come around, right, and a lot of people start paying attention to you of how you drug deal. So you start getting paid attention to a lot because of your sources, resources, or you may have a lot to offer in the drug dealing game, right? So a lot of people are paying attention to you. A lot of people come buy shit from you and shit like that. So you become a source for other people's resources, right? So now you got clout. A lot of people are paying attention to you, but the energy that they're paying attention to you is backed and supported by the drug dealer. So the drug dealer has his own clout, and the better you know how to do it and create your own clout within that, you end up being seen as the totality of that shape and form. You get what I'm trying to say? So for the most part, that's where this term clout came from. You getting a lot of energy paid attention towards you for a specific purpose that already has its own clout to it. See what I'm saying? So it's like a double layer. You're getting a lot of attention for doing something better than a lot of other people have done already. It's like you're not creating something new. You're just doing something that everybody else is already doing in your own way. So you're developing a lot of energy in that area, but that area already has its own energy. You see what I'm saying? So that's where the word clout come from. When a person is doing something on a large magnitude in an area that others have already done and laid examples for and things of that nature, or created that system in general. So clout is really fake. Clout is like somebody at your job putting a good word in for you. Like, or somebody who got, say you're trying to get hired at somebody else's job and they put the good word in for you. That's like what clout is. It ain't nothing but for you to create some fake shit with, some shape and form shit with. It's not really real. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get tired of being in that prism, that light, that shape and form that got all this energy, your spirit gonna want to do something else. And certain energies got lords to it and gods to it, that you are a servant to that shit. It's not good to be a servant either. I don't know why people keep kicking this I'm here to serve energy. You know what I'm saying? Look, if anything, the overall is not in that energy. The overall is not, it's just motherfucker ain't serving shit. It's not in the reality of serving or receiving or things of that nature. It is what it is. And once you understand shit is what it is, you start to understand status. And once a person understands their status compared to somebody else's status, then that's when we can talk. But the moment we start talking about you're serving the shit, what is you serving? You gotta pay it, because whatever you serving could be an illusion. For an example, let's talk about the trees and shit like that, right? Now, people think just because trees was here before them, that trees is natural. Everything in nature ain't natural. The same way that we geomodify or geometric, whatever y'all call these words, how we modify seeds and modify fruits to how we see them today. You think that just started today? And this is where y'all get confused with blaming, oh, the white man did this and the white man, nigga, that been started way from when we was beings and we created the first seeds to plant as trees, which you see today. All this shit is technology. All this shit is an illusion. And we're as spirits, we're not doing nothing but creating shit to grow, to sustain. So when you look at a tree, right? A tree grows shit that gives life, what you quote unquote call life. But you could get fruit off a tree. You could get a bunch of shit off a tree that people eat that they quote unquote think they're eating healthy. But this is what you need to understand. A tree is doing shit to sustain this realm of reality. And if this realm of reality is an illusion, anything that's trying to sustain this realm of reality is an illusion. And once you cling on to one of those things, they become your lords and gods. And you can only learn from them. So you're not learning from the spirit. You're learning from the spirit of that. And that what you're learning from is a rock or a tree or grass or something, or growth or fruit is just another shape and form, because you don't want to die. So since trees grow fruit, you think the trees is important. But you need fruit to eat, and eat is another form of sustaining yourself. So anything that's supporting that shit is a fucking illusion. What you need to learn is, in this lifetime, learn how to not need that shit. So you go lesser, the more experiences, you cut off more and more experiences. You do things more and more in moderation, to the point that you end up getting into a body that you created for yourself that don't need that shit. Because lighter bodies don't need this shit in this reality to survive. You get what I'm saying? So you got a lot of shit in this realm of reality that got unnecessary clout, that you don't even necessarily need to be paying attention to that shit. And you paying attention to it, you lost, and you learn from that shit, and you think you need that shit more than your spirit do. Your spirit don't need none of this shit. Your physical need this shit. So anytime you clinging on to something that support more of the physical than the spirit, you done lost your fucking self. And then listening to those motherfucking spirits will confuse you into thinking that again. So you just in a higher loop of the same shit. But yeah, I'm gonna get off this shit. Let me go into this motherfucking store, because people waiting on me. Flight pause, bitch. Goddamn air.